Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is originally created for, wow, what day is today? Okay, so it's Tuesday the 5th. I guess I must have thought yesterday was Tuesday. I don't know. Yesterday was the 4th, and I think I was calling it Tuesday in the video for some reason. Anyways, this is for Tuesday, the 5th of October. Do not get caught up in the date that it was originally created for. If you're seeing it on a date that's different than Tuesday the 5th, you might be ready for the message rather than the date that was created for, okay? So don't worry about that. This is a broad spectrum reading, so you need to figure out where it best fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. Doesn't mean anything's wrong or broken. You just might be working on something different this time, okay? Let's see what's going on in the cards. Oh, and also check out the drop-down menu, just because in there there's some stuff I want you to think about, house rules, things like that. On the YouTube video, check that out, and that will show you how to, like, share, follow, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. So please do all that too. So here is our Badger friend, the Knight of Wands. A little bit of impulsivity, right? A little bit of let's take action, let's get things done, setting our mind to a task. It could be indicative of a little bit of, being passionate about maybe a project or a goal, maybe sometimes even another individual, like having passion directed at us, maybe from a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sag. Doesn't necessarily have to mean that, but usually court cards can indicate other people that we can be dealing with during the day. So if we find ourselves coming in contact with a Sag, Leo, or Aries, not necessarily a bad thing. The Knight of Wands is going to come in kind of hot and maybe sort of peter out. Sometimes he's a little bit of he starts off intense, but then he kind of dwindles off, right? Now, with that case or with that sort of scenario, that could be around what we're sort of focused on or wanting to accomplish today. We could come in a little bit excited, exuberant, and maybe potentially lose steam if we're not careful. There is a way to sort of monitor our energy and not put ourselves all out there all at once, especially in an endeavor with our goal, with a shift, with a change that may be happening. Remember, we have that Ace of Wands underneath this, so we should feel, almost even doubly inspired or desirous of wanting to take action, right? The Knight is always going to sort of do things, from a place of, service and responsibility. Thinking things a little bit from those perceptions or those places in their mind, right? So we want to be responsible for our own decisions that we make today, how we go about making them, which directions, and choices we make to move in that direction. And then by all means, go after whatever it is that you love, whatever it is that you're most passionate about, whatever it is that excites you. If there's a shift or a change, which there should be, with this Ace of Wands Fool energy happening in the beginning and the midweek, now's the time to take action. Now's the time to jump forward, make it happen. Don't wait for the bus to come. Get on your bike and ride. Make it come to you, right? What's that phrase? Like, don't wait for your ship to come in, swim out to it, kind of thing. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting from this. I think that's a badger. I think it's a honey badger. Honey badgers are pretty notoriously fierce animals, even though they're just kind of like, they pursue honey and eat bugs, but they're not to be messed with. They know their strength and their ability. And a lot of animals fear the honey badger because he's so adept at taking care of himself. So let's see what we've got going on for the oracle card for the literary witches. We have Leslie Marmon Silko, and it's community, right? Interesting that she has that black cat kind of beaming down from below her. It kind of sort of reminds me a bit of the honey badger in a weird way. But and it's funny too because when I look at the honey badger, right, and it's the Knight of Wands, it's about sort of to me in my mind pursuing what we're passionate about or taking action, moving towards it, even if it's like a person, a situation, a new endeavor, like going after it with that sort of passion. With this idea of community in the literary witches card, it's like I almost want to say that when we take care of ourselves or when we go after what we love and we do it sort of in a right way, similar to like how the knight would do it, you know, with that sort of responsibility, ethics, service oriented mindset, we do serve our community and the greater whole, right? By serving ourselves. And that's sort of like, I don't know why, but that singular black cat down there in the bottom of the card is pulling my attention because it feels like that is the honey badger. Like thinking of ourselves first and foremost um, allows us to go after what it is that we need. And it really is sort of the greatest gift for the greater whole. Does that make sense? And it's kind of interesting because that light that's pouring out of like sort of her heart area over the cat kind of beams up to this whole, where's my pointer? Beams up to this whole sort of cosmic thing that's happening up here, which intertwines her with the rest of the universe. Does that make sense? So when we pursue our desires at sort of the spirit level, when we are open to the changes that could potentially be coming to us this week, we're inspired by them, and we're sort of deciding to put those things first, those desires first, those opportunities first, and actually take them, we might actually be doing something for the larger, greater whole than we understand, even though it may feel like a solitary journey or an opportunity to just sort of do what we're looking for. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense because that's what I'm sort of feeling is like what's being said to me or what I need to say about these two cards. I'm just going to read community. Let me find her card just because I like to know who these women are. And I always, with this deck, I like to think of them as sort of the major arcana of this deck. And so to me, even though we've got the Knight of Wands, I feel like her showing up here says to us, when we serve ourselves, when we take care of ourselves, we actually do something for the greater whole that we don't even maybe realize, even though we're sort of in our own world, doing our own sort of thing, if that makes sense. So this says, Leslie Marmon Silko, community, taking care of each other, safety nets, and then exile. Of Pueblo, Mexican, European, and Cherokee ancestry, Leslie Marmon Silko, I'm sorry, I can't read without my glasses, born 1948, identifies most with the Laguna Pueblo culture, which builds a vital belief in the universe's interconnectedness. Siller's work explores I'm sorry, I cannot read this, the tensions between the Southwest's diverse communities and methods of healing. Her breakout novel, Ceremony, about a young half Pueblo, half white man trying to recover from his service in World War II, attracted a major spotlight to Native American literature. And so, I don't know, I do feel like this is this idea of taking care of ourselves first and foremost, actually, in some way, reminds us or allows us to like sort of enable the rest of our community to take care of themselves. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. Let's go to the grounding stone. And we're not really alone in it, even though we might be alone in the execution of the production of it, right? The creation of it. But it is we actually have a greater effect on the world around us when we do this sort of a thing. Now, again, we're with that green stone, malachite, associated with the fourth chakra in the heart, which we see this light beaming out of the heart, which is sort of like this sage green color. Inspiration is that of the spirit, right? We've got this inspiration, right? Inspiration is the root word is spirit here. Wands is that element of fire and the spirit. What moves us at the heart level, emotionally, spiritually, should be our focus, should be what we're grounding in today, should be what we're pursuing. I don't mean to should on you too much, but that's what I feel like the message is today. not necessarily allowing, you know, I don't know, like, yes, the knight will be responsible to his duties, right? That's always sort of a knight quality. But there's also this idea of setting out and blazing new trails, going after what we love, going after what inspires us, going out after, what creates even a better community for us, even if it's something that we are doing that serves others, and go about doing it if it makes you feel good, because it will serve the community. But I also feel like there is this solitary nature of that black cat and the badger that says to me that it's okay if we just serve ourselves and our own spiritual desires at this time, that will bring us closer to our community and do more for our community than we would first think. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. All right, so that is your forecast for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Please tune in tomorrow. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it with your friends. And tune in tomorrow and we'll watch this energy build and see where it ends up. And have a great day, you guys. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.